Thanks for clicking, and follow Geekdom 101 on Twitter at Emperor Big D.
Alright, so I want to give some commentary here, my thoughts on the draft pages that came out yesterday for the Dragon Ball Super manga. I did a video already covering what happened and my thoughts, but I wanted to do another video sort of expressing a bit more about how I'm viewing the fandom right now in their response to this. A lot of people in this fandom, I've been watching what you guys have been saying all over the different platforms, and a lot of folks are really upset as to what is going on with Dragon Ball Super Chapter 65. Now, if you don't want to be spoiled, you want to go in dark, don't watch this video. We're going to talk about what we found out yesterday with those 10 pages or 8 pages or whatever that came out. And I want to talk to y'all about why the fandom is pissed off, because I think there's some misinterpretation going on here. Because some people have told me, oh, well, wait for the entire chapter. And that's true. I have been saying every time we have these leaked pages and spoilers, I've always been telling you guys, okay, wait until the entire chapter comes out and let's see what happens. Instead of us going, and crucifying, for lack of a better term, Toyotaro, let's just wait and see how it plays out in the manga. I've been saying that. And sometimes it plays out better than we thought. And other times it's just crap. It just depends, right? And I have been critical of Toyotaro for a very, very long time. In the sense of, when he does good, I fairly say, okay, he's improving as an artist. I like this, I like that. When he doesn't do good, I say I don't like this and I don't like that. I've always been very honest and very fair when it comes to Dragon Ball with you guys. Always have been, right? And so, I find it really weird there's people out there who are like, well, you were saying nice things about him yesterday. Yeah, but just because a director makes a good movie doesn't mean that all his movies have to be good and they have to suck his dick. You know what I mean? I'm going to be honest and say, okay, he did good here, he did bad here. And the reason why the fans are so irritated at Toyotaro this month, for this chapter, makes perfect sense. It actually is justified this time. I know sometimes in the past people have been freaking out over nothing, but this is not one of those times. Because you see, you have to understand, the idea of Goku giving Moro a senzu is so bad because, first of all, if you actually watch Dragon Ball and you understand Goku's development, if you only saw the dub 15, 20 years ago, you're not going to really remember these things, right? Or not even know about them. But if you have been studying and reading and watching Dragon Ball for years and kind of go back and rewatching the series, you kind of know that Goku has an arc from Dragon Ball into Z, right? And Goku learns things along the way. Not just techniques, but he does learn about mercy. He does learn about not killing his opponents. But during the Cell Saga, obviously the infamous moment was that Goku gave Cell a senzu before Gohan fought him because Goku was very, very overconfident in Gohan's abilities. Goku had no idea that Cell would at one time try to blow himself up and risk the destruction of the Earth, and that wound up leading to Goku dying. So Goku giving Cell the senzu instead of having Gohan just whoop his ass has always been criticized, and it makes sense. I mean, logically, we're dealing with supervillains who can wipe out the Earth, and even more than that in Cell's case, and especially in Moro's case. So, from our perspective, Goku shouldn't do that, but he did it in the Cell Saga, but Goku also learned from it. The Cell Saga was not the first time he had done this. He also, gave Frieza a lot of mercy, and Frieza wound up, not, being able to be redeemed, so to speak, in the Frieza Saga, right? So Goku learned, as the series continued, kind of when to have mercy and when not to have mercy. But the problem with Dragon Ball Super is that Goku is learning the same lessons over and over again, so it's almost like his character has regressed. In Resurrection F, Goku let his guard down and got blasted through the chest. That is something that was heavily criticized by the fandom, but understandably so. At the same time, I didn't mind it too much because it was a little bit different than this. Here we have a situation where Mirrors pretty much bailed the good guys out. Had Mirrors not shown up, Moro would have won. Okay, so once again we have divine intervention literally in Dragon Ball, which has irritated me. So Mirrors shows up to help Goku 2 chapters ago, or 3, I think it was 2. He shows up to help Goku by destroying Moro's crystals, which were a real problem, and essentially preventing Moro from stealing anybody else's techniques and giving Goku a chance to, and the others, a chance to heal up and to fight him again. So Mirrors gets involved. Then Mirrors, because he gets involved, ends up being, disintegrated because he broke the rules of the angels about getting involved in combat with earthlings, with mortals, that is, mortals, right? So he dies. Goku has this emotional moment where he gets, angry and focused, and he's able to tap into silver-haired Ultra Instinct. So he taps into this Ultra Instinct, and he's able to beat the crap out of Moro and avenge all the stuff he's done wrong. At the same time, learning that people like Moro are not good to have around, and Mirror wants the universe to be at peace, right? That was the big lesson. He wants the universe to be good. Goku, by giving Moro a senzu, takes a dump on all of that. It doesn't matter if later on in the chapter, Goku whoops his ass. It doesn't matter if he one-shots Moro after this. This, to me, is character regression, because Goku, by now, after all the battles he's had, from Dragon Ball through Z and into Super, right? This guy should already know that there are just some people that can't be redeemed. They just can't. Not everybody is Broly, or Jiren, or Piccolo, or Tenshinhan, or even Vegeta, who eventually kind of became good guys. They got redeemed. Some people are just bad people. And I don't think Moro's one of those guys that's going to end up being a Z fighter. I just don't see that, right? And Goku should know better. He asked Jocko if he can kill him. And Jocko's like, yes, he has a death penalty, which means that there's a chance that if Moro goes in with the GP, he might end up getting, the death penalty. I mean, he might. We don't know. But Goku basically asked Moro in the leaked pages, if you promise to go to prison, I will give you a senzu bean. But why does he have to give him a senzu bean? He could just say, you know what, I'm not going to kill you. You're all beat up right now. Just here, you're going to prison, all beat up. He doesn't have to give him a senzu bean. It's stupid. It makes no sense. That's why fans are mad, because logically it makes no sense. People have been complaining about Goku getting dumber in Dragon Ball Super for a very long time, right? And I understand that criticism. Even though I don't entirely agree with it, I can understand why somebody would say that, because there are moments in Super where Goku acts very strange. And this is one of them. Because Goku should have already learned this lesson from Cell, how that backfired, Frieza. Sometimes you can't spare these guys. Especially somebody as evil as Moro, who literally had these dudes on the ground gushing blood a couple chapters ago. And now he's back up, re-energized, and he even says, I'm going to kill you. So that proves that he's just not, redeemable. Maybe Goku's saying to himself, you know what? Let me give this guy one more chance just to see if he'll change. Maybe that's stubborn Goku. And if that's the case, I can somewhat understand. But I feel like by now, him doing that craps on everything Mirrors did for him. You're basically giving Moro a chance. Whether or not Moro wins or Goku wins is irrelevant. The fact that Goku is giving Moro a chance to win, a very cunning and sly and intelligent opponent, a guy who has been able to evade death throughout this entire arc and has been able to overcome so many things. Goku, Vegeta, Majin Buu, he overcame all of that. Talking about Moro. He overcame, Vegeta's Force Spirit Fission. Like, this dude's a survivor, right? A selfish survivor. And for Goku to spare him, it's like, dude, this is a very big mistake. What, have you not learned anything from your entire life? And that's why the Dragon Ball fans are mad. And yes, while I do understand that waiting for the chapter to come out, we're all going to do it anyways. because we're going to see what happens, obviously. We're all going to do it. And I've seen some people go really crazy and say, oh, I'm going to drop Dragon Ball. It's not really worth dropping. If you want to drop it, it's your time. I'm not going to tell you not to. You do what you want to do. But I know a lot of fanboys will say that and then they'll keep reading it, I'm going to keep reading it because this is my job and because, I'm hoping for some good out of it. But at the same time, I am genuinely dumbfounded at the fact that Goku would make such a dumb decision. It's just, Goku's not that dumb. Goku is a guy who has experience and he learns things. He's not dumb enough to do this. So I do think that Toyotaro is either not thinking straight and not understanding these characters. I've said before that he's not the guy to continue Dragon Ball. He's booked to be the guy, but I don't think he's the guy, dude. I don't think he's that good of a writer. Point blank, he's not that good of a writer, yo. He's very, very subpar, in my opinion. With that being said, though, people can improve, they can get better. I'm not going to sit here and hate on the dude, right? It's just not me. But, there were 100 different things that Toyotaro could have done to keep Moro alive. We talked about the hand and all that, cunning Moro doing cunning things. maybe even have UI, like Goku not be able to handle UI again, which would contradict the last chapter. But I mean, again, it's better than the senzu. Like, there's so many things that they could have done, right, better than what they did. And the issue is that this shouldn't be that hard. I mean, ultimately, it shouldn't be that hard to do, you know. But for Goku to actually go, and after all the stuff Moro was done, to give him a fighting chance to possibly really cause problems. Now you don't have Mirrors anymore. Mirrors is gone. Whis may or may not get involved. And if he does, it's going to go back to, oh, well, we're friends with God, so we'll never lose. So it's just, there's not really a lot of drama here. And that's really the issue. So I'm just wanting to make this video just to kind of illustrate that people are kind of missing the point here. It doesn't matter if Goku beats this guy or not. What matters is the fact that he made this decision when he knows better. And it's not a Goku decision, it's a Toyotaro decision, because he's the one writing these characters. And people have criticized him with Piccolo and with Vegeta and all that. That's the problem. It's not even Goku. That whole idea of Goku being so overconfident, right? That's a badass thing. I mean, we saw him do it on Nappa and the Ginyu Force. But here it's not the same thing, because now it's to the point where it's stupidity. You're dealing with a guy who, unlike Nappa and Captain Ginyu, has really, really dangerous abilities, and he's a thinker. You're not dealing with a bunch of scrubs. You're dealing with a guy who's actually really tough to beat. And a guy who even the GP said, go ahead, kill him. Death penalty. He's a dangerous criminal. And you're going to let him go. And say, okay, well, hey, here's a senzu, let's fight. For sport, for fun, after your friend sacrificed himself. I mean, it's just bad writing, you know. To me, in my opinion, it's bad writing. If you disagree, that's fine. We can disagree or agree to disagree all we want to. But to me, I just think the Dragon Ball fans are justified. Y'all are justified in being angry and in being irritated. I'm not really mad, because to me, it's just Dragon Ball. Like, Dragon Ball ended in 96. All this super stuff is just like DLC for me. It's all new stuff that we can and cannot enjoy, depending on what it is. You know, some folks love it, some folks hate it. We like some of it, we don't like other things. That's all it is to me. Dragon Ball, the story ended in 1996 when Z ended, right? That was the end of Dragon Ball. That's the story of Goku from a kid to a grandfather. This is all extra stuff. And like I said, we can enjoy it, but to me, I don't think it really is going to affect the love of Dragon Ball, the old stuff, like DB and DBZ, right? But at the same time, you know, some folks are getting very emotional. It's their choice. I'm not, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and just pretend like Toyotaro's this genius. I mean, people defend this guy, and it's like, he's really not that good of a writer, yo. And Toriyama's his editor, so why didn't Toriyama say something? Does he even care? Just really weird anomalies in this story. But we'll find out more when we get more spoilers to see where it goes. I am going to keep an eye open. I mean, I'm going to keep an open mind. It's just, what I'm trying to tell you is that Dragon Ball fans, you know, I think they are justified here in being upset. I think that if you want to call it trash, you have every right to, because we want better stories. And it's like Goku's on a hamster wheel here. Like, where's the development at? You know, they've done everything they can do with Goku and Vegeta. Develop a new character. It's like they're scared to do it, you know, and it needs to happen, because, you know, if we're going to keep every arc's going to be them learning the same thing over and over again, then what's the point? You know what I mean? So, wanted to give my thoughts. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for listening. And, you know, again, helpful criticism, not, you know, just, I don't want people to, like, attack Toyotaro on social media. I know some folks have done that. I haven't told them to, but I've seen people do it. It's not worth it. But at the same time, if you want to say, yeah, this sucks, hey, it sucks, dude. And it ain't the only thing that sucks in Dragon Ball Super. I mean, there's other things that suck about Dragon Ball Super, but this one seems to be a bit controversial, whereas other stuff doesn't seem to be as controversial. But that's just my view. Anyways, that's it. I'll talk to you soon.